Welcome to the Dr. Random podcast. I'm Dr. Sarah, and here's the deal. We don't do boxes here. Every episode is different, every conversation has its own flavor, and no topic is off limits. If you're looking for predictable, this isn't it. But if you want real conversations, honest takes, and a touch of intellect in the best way, you're in the right place. This is Dr. Random Podcast. Hello, we are here on the Dr. Random Podcast, and I'm Dr. Sarah, and today I'm so excited for this episode. We're going to be talking about skincare, and we are here on location at Monarch Esthetics here in Charleston, South Carolina, and I am here with Amber Lang, and she is the founder and co-owner of Monarch Esthetics. And I have actually been coming and using, some of the services here, and I love it. I've always been obsessed with skincare. I spend more on skincare than fashion, I'll be honest. I would rather have, I guess you could call it designer skincare over designer jeans, because it's right. Our skin. It's like the biggest organ in our body, and it really, I feel like it makes a difference. It's like we're penetrating products on our face every day. It's close to our eyes, our mouths, our brains.
That's right.
And so tell me, Amber, about, just what you want to share about Monarch and what started, how it was founded, and a little history.
Yeah, absolutely. So Monarch Aesthetics is my baby. It's my pride and joy. I always wanted to own a med spa. I just didn't know when that was going to happen, but it was always in the back of my brain very early on in my career. Mm-hmm. And I was fortunate enough to have an introduction to my business partner and our medical director, Dr. Shane Cole. And he's just been a wealth of knowledge when it comes to the business side of medical aesthetics. He's been a true mentor to me. So I'm super grateful to that. But outside of that, my whole vision was to create a med spa that didn't feel so clinical. Mm-hmm. I wanted it to feel cozy, kind of like you're going to a girlfriend's house. Yeah. But the whole experience of going to a med spa, I just wanted it to feel really special. I wanted everybody who walks through the door to feel like they're special, because they are. And not just for my clients, but for my employees as well. I know from a provider standpoint, that was always something that was a struggle, working for, all these different doctors. And it was always a male perspective on what services we should offer and which equipment we were going to choose for the office. And I never really had any input. So here, I wanted this to be really a place of collaboration with providers that are artists in their own right. And I feel so far we have really outdone ourselves in that department.
Yes, definitely. And I know I feel like you can always tell the quality and the services you're going to be getting and where their mindset is with skincare when you even just see the products you carry. And I feel like you guys carry very high-end skincare products that I myself believe in and already used before I even came here. So that made me feel good about getting your services too.
Amazing.
So Amber, tell me about some of the expertise and staff that you guys here have at Monarch Esthetics.
Yeah. So I was really particular about who I hired on. I didn't want to, hire people that were really new to the field. Not that they don't deserve, a shot at working in medical aesthetics, because it's amazing. And we, as nurses and nurse practitioners and PAs, I feel like there is a big influx of those, providers that are coming into the beauty space. But I really just wanted to make sure that my clients were getting the very best, not just from the, equipment that we use and the skincare that we offer, but also with my providers. So they all have many years of experience, and we always take ongoing education very serious. And that's something that we always, push and, recommend that, we do. And so continuing education is something that we highly encourage. And it's something that we'd love to go to conferences together and, any kind of preceptorships that come into town with different doctors that are teaching us different techniques on the lasers that we carry. We always take advantage of those.
Okay.
So yeah, I feel like I really have a rock star team here.
That's awesome. Yeah. I love that. And you can sense that, I think, coming here. I feel like there is a good knowledge base here at Monarch. You know that you're getting what you pay for here. Like, it's not like you're going somewhere and you're spending a bunch of money for, the staff that doesn't really know what they're doing or don't have a good knowledge base or experience. So that's so key here. That's what I love.
Yeah. To your point, we aren't the cheapest in town. We, don't always have the cheapest, tox prices or, specials on every single thing at one time. That's because we, pay our providers well because of their expertise, and we put a lot of thought and effort into the whole experience of Monarch. So you're paying for, not just the service itself, because, let's be honest, there's a med spa in every corner now, and a lot of us are offering the same services, but it's just the level of expertise and the level of, the high experience that you're going to get here as well.
Yeah. And, and I feel like, guys out there, come on, it's not just for girls. Skincare guys need to think about skincare too. So, getting quality skincare.
Yeah, absolutely. We, guys should live up to the same standard when it comes to their skin health. I feel like we are definitely, catering more to the female side, women empowerment, but we welcome the males as well. I don't know if we should put that in.
Yeah, sure. Okay. So with client experience here, what would you say is makes Monarch special for clients that come here and their experience for choosing Monarch for their skincare needs?
Yeah, again, it goes back to that just cozy feeling. Most of our clients on a very personal basis. A lot of my clients have been with me for 6+ years, and just all the little details that we put into the experience from before you even walk in the door. You get a text. We want to know what beverage you want upon arrival so that you can enjoy that.
Love that.
Yes. Have a glass of champagne, get all the jitters out. The massage chairs in case you have to numb prior to a procedure. You don't have to sit in a quiet room by yourself. You can lay back, get a massage. We always have old movies playing on the TV back there. And yeah, I just think that we are definitely more of a small, personal, authentic experience compared to, some of the bigger chains that are now moving into Charleston. We really take pride in keeping it more small and authentic.
Yes, that's important. And as far as client concerns and more common client questions, for me, for instance, I feel like sometimes routine is important, of course, with skincare.
Yeah.
And, the products that we choose to use and that our skin absorbs. For instance, I have one product that I've been using, I'm not even joking, for over 20 years. It's the Yonka spray lotion.
Okay.
And it's pink, it's moisturizing, but to me, it feels like a spa every time I spray it on my face.
Yeah.
But I've been using that consistently, for a long time.
Yeah.
And it's so weird. If I have a day without it, it's strange. So I always make sure I have it stocked. But, it's things like that I feel like are important. So do you feel is there a more common client concern that you feel with skincare? Or, what would you say is kind of the commonality that happens? Is it more aging, or do you think it's younger people too coming in that have concerns? I don't know if you kind of want to just talk about, because I know you address all, issues.
Yeah.
So
I think it's really individual. And again, it's just very personal to each individual that comes in. Their concerns are, there's obviously common threads with, some of the concerns, but they are still, you still have to look at each patient or client, as an individual person, and their concerns can be different from person to person, even if the commonality is, aging or sun damage. But yeah, there's definitely a mix as far as, age range that we see now. I feel like we are starting to see younger clients becoming interested in skin health at an earlier age than what we have in the past. And I think that's great because if you're maintaining the health of your skin early on, you're not going to be, chasing dramatic, treatments down the road at an age that you wouldn't have to if you had just done some preventative care in the beginning. I mean, sunscreen is the cheapest, form of anti-aging that we can apply. And I think that we are finally getting to a place where we're starting to see, that the younger age group, coming around to the idea of using sunscreen, at least on their faces. But yeah, I think that, in the South, it's definitely sun damage that we see a lot of. So, we're using BBL, Moxie, microneedling, and then, of course, your skincare at home as well to address all of those concerns, because it's not just the brown spots, but it's also, the lack of collagen and the loss of elasticity in the skin because the sun breaks down all of that really rapidly as well. So, sun-related problems are a big, bulk of what I see here.
Yeah, I could totally. How BBL and Moxie, can you kind of describe what those treatments are?
Yeah,
exactly?
yeah. They're two of my favorites. So BBL stands for broadband light. So there's like a whole spectrum of colors with light devices that you can use. For a while there was just IPL, and that's just the whole spectrum, and it's just kind of thrown at the skin, and you just hope that it grabs what you want it to grab. But with BBL, we're really able to filter out different spectrums that could be potentially damaging to darker skin tones, and we're able to really target what we're going after, whether it's dark spots or vessels in the skin. So Dr. Bitter has actually studied the gene expression and how BBL can actually help to regenerate our gene expression. So you're almost like aging in reverse if you're doing a couple of BBLs a year.
Yeah. So
that's amazing.
And I've gotten the BBL.
And you have.
And I'm excited. Okay, yes.
And we're going to keep doing the BBLs.
Yes. Okay.
And then Moxie is more of a light resurfacing laser. So that one is attracted to water in the skin. So it works really different than the BBL. It's actually a laser that's even safe to do in the summer, even over, a little bit of, tan skin, which, with BBL, IPL, you have to be really, really careful with that. But Moxie's a little more forgiving. And so it's a very safe, gentle resurfacing laser that we use.
Okay. Yes. And just so listeners know, I decided to do the laser treatments with BBL and Moxie, right?
Yes.
And then I'm going to be getting a HydraFacial too, which I love HydraFacials.
Yep.
I love facials. When you go to those day spas and you can have a massage, or I'm like, facial.
Yeah.
So I love facials.
They're super important. Just keep the skin hydrated and healthy and exfoliated on a professional level. Especially when you're pairing them with lasers, because lasers can be really dehydrating to the skin. They are, taking a lot of water out. So you want to make sure that you are replenishing all that water loss, and HydraFacials are a great way to do that.
Yes. And plus I think that you just feel better, and it's kind of, to me, I think it's important to take care of yourself and give that time to you. It's worth it. And you feel so good after you do something for yourself, kind of like your me time.
Yeah.
And I feel like doing anything for your skin is in that regard. And
Absolutely. I think that, for a long time, the medical aesthetic world, going to a med spa was seen as, oh, you're vain, or, just coming from a completely different place than where we are now. Skincare is wellness. When when you look good, you feel good. And when you feel good, that reflects in everything that you do in life. So I feel like we're starting to notice that. And it's not so taboo to go to the med spa and have these treatments done now.
Yeah. And, I think also, speaking of genes, I have that Irish blood in me. And so I freckle a lot. And, I even have green eyes. So right there, that tells you something, how my skin is. But, so I have to be careful with the sun, but it's amazing doing these treatments because, after, I will never say my age, but I am in my 40s. That's all I'm going to say.
Hey,
but
40s are amazing. I have to say.
After time, I just had some built up of, you could call them freckles, some damage, whatever. Yeah. But, you probably know more than me. You see my skin and you look at it from your perspective of being this expert. So, but, I think my skin looks amazing.
It does look amazing.
Like it's glowing.
Yeah. And it gives you a confidence to, feel good in your skin and not have to put a ton of makeup on. Just have healthy, glowy skin that's the goal.
Yes. And that is true. And I do have people who always think I'm younger than I am. So that's always a plus. But yeah, minimal makeup, I feel like, for me, I feel like the most important thing, this is just me, if you're going to leave the house, at least have lip gloss on. Or, I go to the gym completely with no makeup on, but it's nice to know that, like, I have taken care of my skin, so I can leave the house without makeup on and feel okay. You know, I don't feel like I'm all glamour or super pretty or anything when I'm, but, I feel like I can show my face.
Yeah, you're not trying to hide something.
Mm-hmm, yeah, exactly. And I think that's the beauty of this. When you take care of your skin, you can, you don't have to cover up all the time or feel like,
absolutely.
So, yeah. And would you say there are some really cool, like, success stories or results of clients that you would feel comfortable sharing, that you think are kind of neat stories to share?
Gosh, so many. But I feel like there is one that comes to mind just because her transformation was so much more than the physical transformation that we achieved. But it was really, her transformation on the inside. She told me something that I'll never forget. She said she didn't feel seen anymore by females or by men. She had lost her husband and she was trying to navigate, her way in the world without him. And it was hard for her to make friends. And then on top of that, she felt like, from a romantic, standpoint, like she also just wasn't seen in that regard either. When she started coming in for treatments, you could tell she was starting to get more confident by the, the way that her skin looked. And you've been to our events. They're so fun. And there's so many women in this community that are going through, some of the same things. And she was able to, mingle with some of the other clients. And I feel like her saying that, I feel like a lot of women can relate to that feeling, especially when you hit a certain age. It's like you're not in your 20s anymore, and you just feel like you're just kind of overlooked by the world. And I thought that was something really beautiful to see her just really transform, not just from, the physical, but from the inside too.
Yeah, taking care of herself through skin, which is what we show the world all the time, is key. Yeah. Yeah. And like I said, I would rather, and I feel like, people might think, oh, the products, for instance, like, let's talk about the products, because I feel like, I think, for me, I use my little spray toner, of course, but, I feel like, you need to do a serum, a moisturizer, and of course, sunscreen. Yeah. Or like, would you say, like, the audience listening, and I know you provide all those products too. And what would you say are the key things as far as products for skincare?
Yeah, I would say consistency is always key. So especially with your actives, if you're trying to change your skin at a cellular level, it's not going to be a one and done. Same thing as going to the gym and you're working out your muscles and you're, building those every day. Same thing with your skin. If you're using retinol, for instance, you want to make sure that you're being consistent with that and using it, appropriately, because it is like a medication. So dosage really matters there, and how often you use it really matters. And then, vitamin C, that's also another really big one that everybody should be using every day. And that not only is going to help with collagen and elasticity and brightening the skin, but it's also a reinforcement for your sunscreen that you should also be using every single day. Yeah. So,
it's amazing wisdom and advice.
Thank you.
And would you say there are any cooler upcoming trends that are kind of interesting with skincare that maybe the listeners would want to hear about, or that maybe you offer, or that that you hear of coming in the future that's kind of interesting?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of new things that we're, doing right now. I feel like the beauty industry in general, the med spa industry, is going more in a direction of regenerative and restorative treatments, as opposed to, like those super corrective, overdone, overfilled. And I really, really love that. So we're using, we've used PRP for, many, many years, but there are new things that are coming around that are, like growth factors, exosomes, PDRN, which is fragments of salmon DNA. So all of these things are helping our bodies to really kick into high gear and, make our cells do the jobs that they're meant to do. PRP is wonderful, but sometimes it's not the best option that we have, depending on, somebody's lifestyle, their health, if they, are under a lot of stress, diet. There's so many factors that, age, that play into, how good the PRP is.
Okay.
So the things like PDRN, exosomes, and platelet-derived growth factors, it just kind of takes the guesswork out of that. So we get more of a consistent outcome with our treatments with those options now.
Okay. How does that work with the salmon DNA?
With the salmon DNA?
Is that like, is it like an application, or?
Yeah. So it's
interesting.
So it's a application. So it's like a little serum that you get, and you usually use it after microneedling or after laser. It really helps to speed up healing time, and again, just kind of kicks everything into high gear to start doing its job better.
What would you say to somebody listening who maybe is a little scared or intimidated of coming to a med spa, and they're coming in for the, first time, or maybe they've heard scary stories or something? Like, I feel like I want to encourage everybody out there to, put your skin first. And just curious, what would you tell somebody like that to get them comfortable and want to come in here and not be intimidated?
I would say, come in, get a consultation. No matter where you go, you want to make sure you do a consultation. Make sure that it feels right. Ask questions, and, make sure that you feel comfortable and that the person that you're consulting with is experienced, and, they've been in the industry for a while, and they can kind of point you in the right direction. And, medical aesthetics doesn't have to be scary. I think that, again, we were kind of going in that trend where everything was really overdone, and so people were kind of nervous about looking like that. But I feel like we're making beauty fun again.
Yes.
And it doesn't have to be so dramatic. Like, we could just do things in a more subtle way now. And people are really leaving looking just a refreshed version of themselves instead of this big dramatic change.
Amazing. I want to know what that was that I saw that you guys posted about, like, the vampire thing.
Oh, the vampire, that was the PRP.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So we did that for Halloween.
Okay. So what does PRP stand for?
So platelet-rich plasma. Okay. So it's a blood draw.
Okay.
And then we spin that down, and it separates your red blood cells out.
Okay.
And so you're just left with like this liquid gold, and that's what we've been using for a long time. That was like the first step into the regenerative medicine approach. Yeah. And it's really great. It usually is amazing no matter who, decides to do the PRP. But like I was saying, there's just those factors. It's kind of like, of course, somebody who is 25 years old, they're super healthy, they're active, they're not living a super stressful life, their PRP is going to be liquid gold. And if you take somebody who's maybe in their 50s and they're not, super active anymore, their diet could use some work. It's not going to be as rich, and they're not going to have as many growth factors. And so that's why those exosomes and the PDRN and the platelet-derived growth factors have kind of come into place so that we have things to supplement now for people who need that.
Yeah. And I think also like consuming what we consume and eat, our diet, is also big on skin. I do the powdered collagen, the grass-fed peptides. I just add that in my smoothies. I've been doing that for years now. Yeah. And then I recently started adding colostrum to my smoothies.
I can't speak on colostrum. I've never personally tried it. I read things, good things, and I hear controversial things. I don't really know. I personally have never tried it.
So I just want to share with everybody, why I love Monarch. So when I come here, like they said, whenever I have an appointment, they always ask me what I would like to drink. I love it because sometimes I think I had a nice cup of cider or hot tea or a coffee or an Aperol Spritz, which is nice.
You never know. Whatever you're in the mood for, we got you.
Yes. And, you just feel pampered when you come. And you also, when you buy, I think, some of your packages, you also get a little tiny discount on products sometimes if you buy one of your packages.
Absolutely. Yeah, and also the memberships that we have. So it's really essentially a beauty bank. I don't ever want to take anybody's money and just be like, okay, you're buying a membership. It's a beauty bank. It's your money to spend however you want it. But what that does is because you're giving us your loyalty, then we want to reward you as well. So you get a different price on our talks and skincare. You get discounts on all of that throughout the year. You don't have to wait for sales. Yeah. So that's another perk. And then we do have a rewards bonus structure too. Yeah. So, every dollar that you spend here on treatments, skincare, whatever it is, that all adds up as points on your profile. And that adds up to dollars as well. So that's another great way that you can benefit from the little perks that we offer.
Yes, it's great. And so everybody listening today, what would you suggest if they want to get in touch and come visit the spa?
So there's all different avenues now because we live in the social world. And so you can find us on Instagram at Monarch_Esthetics, CHS, or you can go to our website, monarchcharleston.com. So we have really easy online booking there. And then, of course, on Instagram, there's a book now button on our Instagram account too.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And for the listeners today, I think Amber is offering a special Dr. Random code.
Yes.
Do you want to share that?
Yeah, absolutely. So for listeners today that mention that they listen to the podcast or if they make an appointment, all they have to do is put in Dr. Random to receive 20% off.
That's amazing. Thank you, Amber.
You're welcome.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us today for the Dr. Random podcast.
Thank you for having me.
Yes. And thank you, Amber, for coming on. And it was exciting to be here. And I don't know. We'll
see you at your next appointment.
Yeah, exactly.